What's up, fish keepers? It's your boy, Bob's Burgers. Today, we are shipping. Same thing we do every Wednesday, Pinky. Shouldn't look at the fish tanks right at the intro. What in the world? Gonna catch my attention. No, that was a piece of wood. Thought it was a wire going into my tank. I don't even know why I would think that. I've got water draining out. Just need to get used to bringing y'all along if we mosey on over. I'm trying to pump this water out of here. Gosh, I hate touching that. Let me go get a washcloth. I can tell it's stocked up, and I sure don't want to carry the water over there. This is so gross what I gotta do. This pump reminds me of a St. Bernard, and you've got to wipe the jowls of a St. Bernard or another large drooly dog. So there's plant material stuck in the mouth of this pump, and so I go in there. There's even a snail in there, and I take a dry cloth and my nail and I just quickly rake over it. Just so gross. It's so gross. Help me, mother. You know, I imagine a St. Bernard breeder has to go through the same thing. That is so weird. I can feel it sticking to the bottom. It's like suctioning to the bottom. But look how good idea. I don't even know why I should even show you inside the grotto. A nasty concoction. There's always suction going on with this pump, so I lift it up like a fish out of the water, and I pin it with a clamp. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. I use a clamp, pin it, it's dripping water, and there's air that's traveling through the hose. It always gets stocked up. Oh my gosh, I was about to say. Hours of muscle memory you're about to witness as it all pops forward. I move it with my foot, and then I hang it like a deep sea ocean fish. I can hear all the water dripping. This hose is going out to my front yard. It's like open to the night sky right now. A fox could come in right now and get me. I think we're dripped out, not hearing any more noise. So I've got the hose that was hiked on the door, and I just pull it in. And slowly, welcome to Brenton's Fish. I show you how to roll up siphon hose. But really, it's the easiest way. I can do this when I'm sleeping. I bring it to my porch, and I kind of shake out that water. And then you get none of the mishaps, none of the drainage. I used to always put like a half a cup of water on my floor when I would drag this thing in. It would aggravate me. Those are the little pieces of muscle memory that I formed. Hang it right there. And if I ain't doing it the hard way, I ain't doing it the right way, right? There's like workflow improvements I know I could make that I just haven't sat down hard enough and have made. And probably the water changing system. I'm just due a plumber coming in here, build an auto water changing system, sell both my cars. All right, the fish packing. Okay, we got the big order, 4 little orders, a crusty box, and we are all seeing firsthand why it may or may not take me all night to do these. Got a certain way I like to do these boxes. Got the muscle memory on that. I'm like somebody's fish employee. I am like the net guy at Petco, the way I've been doing these for years. I've been doing this for like 4 years, like Mr. T working out in his basement, just quietly stacking my own fish orders. I've had a few times I was uncomfortable enough I had to make my wife help me. And it consists of like, you know, I get 10 red shrimp in a box, 10 red shrimp in this cup, 10 blue shrimp in this one, and then she hates snail collecting. I am never gonna be able to make someone do that for me. All right, I'm sitting here thinking, deep in silence, this one's gonna come in a little hot. I'm gonna have to build styrofoam from this. I don't wanna drag y'all to my ugly dank garage tonight. So I might cut it up tomorrow morning right before they go out. Snails can go bare. I think the Fresno, California can go bare. No, let's see. Ice, no ice. It's double guppy grass. It's going into 90-degree heat. I'm not going to do any insulation, but I'm just going to do an ice pack, and that will keep it sound, keep it from melting. It'll make the trip in 90-degree weather. If it comes in chilly, it won't make any of the water grain. Okay, and order 4. This is how I set up dinner plates when you're serving tables. Order 4 is 9 fish, and order 5 is only 3. 96 to 68 degrees. This is going to be an ice pack, maybe insulation. I love inhaling me some styrofoam. Your styrofoam video is so helpful in helping me ship live fish safely from my little online shop. I did, and you know, with that, I'm taking, get my knees. Get my knees, please. I now get my ceiling. I'm not gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna frame it good today. The live shipping fish, I scoured the internet, and then I scoured a lot of the fish tubers as I was learning and took the parts that I could use. Where do you get your coolers? I build my coolers. I purchase lots of fish for fun. Okay, we're good on that water level. So these come from other fish sellers. They get this off of uline.com though. So when I was talking about $11 per box, Uline, they're kind of a pain. They don't offer any other shipping than overnight shipping. So the 9-inch boxes I want to get the 11-inch boxes too that are just square cubes. The price is pretty good on them. And then you've got to pay like $40, $30, something like that just on boxes because they want to zip them to you right overnight. So that was the disadvantage. But anything you can think of, a lot of the food culture stuff, they've got a lot of food grade plastic, and if it was like all the shipping was covered in one, I would just buy everything because I would want all their little pieces of plastic and doodads. And I can't even, one example are the tall glass bottles you use for vinegar eels. They just have those at Uline. It's kind of a premium. Uline's so expensive. Yeah, that's definitely what I meant about premium for sure. It's been a thing I have just kind of turned off my brain. I'm like, boxes, and that is a lot cheaper than the free boxes. You go with USPS, and they're so helpful. Oh, see, this sucker's already put together. This is how I usually put it together, of course. So I get mine from Home Depot, and it comes kind of like this. And this is all loosey-goosey because someone else made it, but I usually have it to where it's nice and tight. And then you get these boxes free from USPS, and you think you're making out good, but they get their bites back with that rate for the 2-day priority boxes. So I did like buying my own, and I guess long story short, Uline's expensive, and still somehow I come out on top versus USPS. So there's that. Walmart, if you're in a fix, you could just go to Walmart and they have a box section. Home Depot has a very large box section. It's about the same price as Uline, so like still expensive, but it's at least not a super premium. And getting that in a fix, you don't have to pay extra. Got my brow furrowed. I'm like thinking hard about it. The mail. Yeah, this Crusto, they've got exactly this at Uline. The Rush Perishable Nummy Gummy. I'm gonna go stick this in the garage. It's stressing me out. I thought the fish were dead when it came in like this. I was like, what? No. It always stresses me out to see water. It doesn't always mean death though. So there was that. You get those breather bags. I swear they just sweat a little bit anyways. I feel like a Venture Brothers with the Apple Watch. Just like boop, 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 boop. Father, where am I? I've always wondered that. I'm buying crazy expensive boxes on Amazon. Oh gosh, they're probably like double tapping you for something. Imagine being a mailman with a leaky box. I bet they're like ready to throw up too. I embarrassed receiving one, more embarrassed sending one. They probably think they're getting like some kind of disease. They're ooh, live, bioactive. In the middle of the summer, aquarium water leaking all over their hands. I'm swearing up and down, it's not a big deal. Man, this is, I think, gonna bring y'all to kind of a ugly part of my fish room right now. I click the live button and then I look at all the shelves. So I'm like, yeah, we're going good. Got this hanging, I stuck my nose down here one day, and these mystery snails eat every day. Look at that one. Ah, don't look at me. That is still a thin looking shell. That is all I do is feed them Tums. All I do is put in Sea-Chem Equilibrium. They eat way more than you'd think. Where did I put those Tums? Am I good in the frame? Kind of, yeah. I had a big old thing. I like to go name brand as well with the Tums because of the way they break down in the water. I can't find it. Okay, no, the thing at hand. Okay, we've got 2 half black reds to pack, and then we've got a lot of guppy grass. These guys are so tight. Oh, that scared me. A jolt through my whole body. I was thinking about, I might as well show y'all the water change I'm doing. Crazy. Okay, we are really tight with some guppy grass. They're like, Father, help us. The adults are like, we have no life. Here we are. So I'm gonna take adults out of here and all of that guppy grass. to sell it because I sell it in big globs. That's a kind of a good way to stand out when you're selling it, or all the pet shops that are, you know, they've got the head start on you. They've got the marketing. If you come in and you're like, I'll give you a basketball size of guppy grass for $50, it puts you in an entirely different market and you get to stand out from those guys. And that's what I've always thought was cool. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? I think I'm gonna go guppy grass first. Send 2 big globs this way, please. Oh yeah, what's up, Big Chop? I think this is your order, isn't it? Someone recently came into the stratosphere and then ordered this guppy grass. Can't get my guppy grass to grow at all. The Sea Chem Equilibrium has potash. It's loaded with potassium, from what I understand. That put it in easy mode for me. And I have it growing under the cheapest lights. It kind of takes different textures under different lights. And I think I have 2 specific species going on. One tends to curl more than the other. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, Sea Chem Equilibrium to cover that potassium. Big old bag. Uline sells the bags as well. And they almost feel a little more glossy than what I'm used to, but they've worked well. I like the traditional bags that you get kind of at the local pet stores, as well as the breather bags. These are so forgiving. From what I can tell, can't really ship guppy grass wrapped in a wet napkin. I like to put everything in water anyways. I think it's a nice touch, and I'd just rather pay for the extra shipping. Keep it melt a little bit less. There's no reason not to wrap them in napkins. I say napkins, that wet plant fabric, but I just like to, well, not show my midriff for one, live on stream. It's such a weird thing I have to think about. I just want to think about the fish. Just going to come out here on my robe. All right, yeah, we're going to get it all. Well, so double handful. And this is nice, no duckweed, no scud, little molmy in there. Yeah, 1 handful. Breathe, my guppy brethren. 2 handfuls. How's that? How's that for the usual story, which is what, kind of like 5 strands? They'll kind of hit you up with this, and they'll be like, oh, $15, please. So I like to go real little or real big. So since they occupy that spot, I'll give a tiny piece for $3 and big old piece, I think 30 or 40, something. Traveling. All right, the bucket, RO water, cage in it. Oh, I forgot this swivel just goes where it wants. Fun, chat. Oh, there we go. With a chance of getting some extra fry with that order. It's a possibility. That's just bonus. The fry is like, I came up in a school of hard knocks. I sat in the pile of guppy grass for 45 seconds, 2 minutes without water. Am I in frame? Okay, aged water. Although this doesn't have to be aged. This is RO water. Holy, there we go. That's a big old bag of jewels. Yeah, there's no way I would know if there was fry in there or not. There's definitely common snails, but there's no shrimp, and there's no scuds, and there's no duckweed. But there could be guppy fry. Half black, red, guppy fry. I shimmy and shake the guppy grass to try to avoid that. They're like, oh, it's feeding time. I'm like, no, it's shaking time. Oh yeah, that is nice and chilly. Bring that home as Christmas ham. Slap. I saw him slap my guppy grass on live television. Welcome to QVC. Slap, slap. All right. I used to cut off the tails for aesthetics. I don't think that matters though. Holy crap, code red. Oh no, we're good. Okay, go to the next tank. All right, not code red. And I didn't even put a knee down on the guppy grass. So we're still whole. It's like a nightmare, reoccurring nightmare. I'm going to buy 17 of those liquid detectors for the seeing impaired. These are just gonna go everywhere I go. Maybe every fish tank will get one. I'm kidding. I put Velcro on it. This one is my dirty trash can, so I don't bring it out anywhere. So that's why I'm risking overflowing. But when the water touches, there we go, makes that noise. And I hear that noise in my nightmares too. But you actually have a a pretty solid minute you hear this go off before it starts going over on one of these trash cans. It's annoying too, these little prongs. I feel like they almost don't come out, and I'm always pulling them. They can bend a little bit. That's why I've got the Velcro in there, is because I'm just like, stay on that bucket and light the fires of Gondor if you feel the water. I need 15 of them though. And then I need to put a bunch that just sit on the ground around the RO system that's around the sink. But as you can see, perfect fit. We'll get some insulation in there just to help it not rattle around. We'll put a cooling pack in there, and then you're not really gonna have to cooler this up, because guppy grass will take the extreme temperature anyways. And then the cooling pack is really, you know, if it sweats a little bit and it's adjusting from like a 70-degree fish room to 90-degree weather, it will tend to, I say sweat, it'll melt and it'll turn that water green, which is unpleasant to open. So that's why I'll just put a little cooling pack in there to kind of reverse that. But yeah, you can't really mail guppy grass in anything but water, but you gotta put it in water. It won't do the wet napkin. Hold it like a baby. This is like looking into my near future, as long as there's no scuds. The scuds eat the plants. If I have a scud and scuds in the tank, and the gravel isn't dirt, they do a strange thing where they clear out all the plants. So I know there's no scuds in there just by how I was able to grow the guppy grass out in the first place. Of course, that tank was started from scratch as well, which is also the safest way. And then I make sure I never use one of my trash cans that I know the scuds are swimming around in. And then as of late, I've had to take the scuds off the shop. I've been struggling with the RO water. I recently started cycling a trash can of pure tap water, or it's the discharge water from the RO system. So it's my tap water times 2. My tap water comes out at 300 ppm. I'm thinking this is 500 to 600 ppm, and I'm thinking that's what the scuds crave. It's iron, silica. I'm sure there's calcium and magnesium in there, minerals that you would normally think. But anyways, that's my life story about scuds. That's where I'm at with scuds. So yeah, right when you said that, I was thinking, gosh, you know, I've been putting RO water in that tank for so long that even if there was scuds, which there's not, they're isolated, they would dwindle down and be so weak because, I don't know, are they eating the iron and silica? Anyways, a question for the philosophers. You have Imaginarium Aquarium behind you. Why aren't those horrible tanks that leak? I think all tanks are horrible tanks that leak. I have 80 of them, and I haven't had any of them leak on me so far. I see cracks on some of the Aquariums and something, you know, a little bit wonky. I feel like until I build the muscle memory to just build tanks myself, they're all probably going to be low quality. And I come in swinging at the bottom dollar first. You know, I go right for the cheapest, most efficient sponge filter I can find. I go right for the cheapest lights I can find, and then I just find whatever plants are going to deal with those cheapest lights. I've really gone the cheapo route, but specifically the Petco sale, I'll never be able to get from. Now, PetSmart has been matching Petco on the $1 per gallon sale is what we used to call it. It's now the 50% sale. And so you can get your Aquarium from PetSmart during the same time Petco is doing their 50% sale. But yeah, I can't get away from these. I mean, this thing, well, back when I bought a lot of this, these were $40, but now they're 75 and they're normally 150 with fishflation, 40-gallon breeder. And then of course you go on the Facebook marketplace and it's all kinds of hell. Let me show you these guys I keep talking about. I keep jerking my whole head to the side and y'all don't even know. That's just these guys on the floor, 20-gallon long, and the black mollies way over there. Gave them a water change, saw a female active funny, and I'm like, I'm definitely due one of that. I'm gonna have to pull that female out too. Give her a salt bath. And then we've got the swordtails. They're due as well. I didn't even KH that one. I would almost do that hook for tap water though. That's been so convenient. It comes out from under the sink, and then it's a hook from Home Depot meant to support a pipe going across the wall. I just use it as a python hook. Let me find the KHGH, adding shrimp mineral. I'm gonna move to Seachem Replenish for all of my RO water issues. But when I come in hot and steady like this, I mean, I've been just throwing the KH in there right on top of the water spout. But yeah, that's my new python hook. Oh, I just shot water out the side. RO water coming on through. It's all right, guys. It's all right. Y'all can finally spawn for me any day now. Everyone in the fish buckets, was I even in frame? My thigh was in frame. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Give them the knee. All of my platies that I have outside in those buckets under the sun, they're spawning like crazy. And I'm like, are these lights that awful that they come in here and they're like, I might spawn. Maybe. Give me 9 months and your hopes and prayers. And then I put them outside and they're like, yeah. Not the steel tubs though. Galvanized steel tubs. I need to make a whole video about that. They leach zinc. Had a 2-year trip with that. I'd be rolling in fish money now if I didn't go right into head first. You know, did I Google it? No. I said, let me experience this for myself. And you know, I see other fish keepers with the galvanized tub, but in my area, I mean, the heat index is like 110, 115, a heat pocket right now, but somehow it keeps snowing. The third time I've ever seen snow in my life was last winter, but the second time was the winter before that. So these tubs are freezing and heating up and freezing wherever I'm at, and it was flatlining some fish. I thought I was getting like a country rustic look in my backyard. It was country death back there. Not even the algae would grow. Not even the mosquito larvae. They're like, we are on vacation. The zinc chokes my bubba. I assume they call each other in a mosquito family. What am I? Oh, half black reds, yes. I just went back to the boxes and give them a rustle. You gotta give them a rustle every once in a while. But I've got these guys packed and I'm looking for pliers. That's the drama thus far. What's up, Mexicali fish keeper? I don't know. I don't know what that was. Sorry. I got excited. Pliers. You know, I have these shelves. They're just set out like rat nests. They're tiered rat nests that are roughly like the tools are on one tier, light supplies on another tier, books. I'm trying to defend the chaos while I'm suffering from it. Unreal. Let's see. Got the green pliers here. No, we don't. I guess I'll wait for is Carmen San Diego. You know, if I was to turn on that stream every day, this is what y'all would be watching, is me rustling through all my crap, just always. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna fill up this cup with water. I guess I just move on to the next order. Gosh, I don't want to, I guess I could put those other guys in a big bag since I'm sending them in a big box. Hello there, fish, have a drink. You think since it's RO water, they're just like, all right, look how much happier everyone is. They're like, we can breathe. Please. I really like to get that guppy grass on one side. So we have two different approaches to life. Minimalism. Look at the adults though. They're just like, we're gonna hang out here. Here, come on, I'll do something. You're free. All this free real estate. Go get it. Go get your boardwalk. They call me all wet hands. Got some insomnia. Most hilarious fish keeper. What if that was an award? They're like, most hilarious fish keeper, and they like stood him up next to like the funniest plumber, funniest fireman, and they were like, you have won. Boys, you are exemplary examples. Was that a synonym? Do those mean the same? Very great examples of your industry, with humor in one hand and a fire hose in another. What is next? These guys maybe. Cord management. It's a full-time job. Look how low. Oh my gosh. And why it's like, I am going to lower this much, but I will lower this much. Why? We do not know. We just know it's funny. Oh, this is a good shot. I was thinking about making this into a story, but let me create what I'm gonna do. These red dragons, I don't know, write something clever about duckweed, or maybe the difficulties of feeding the fish through duckweed, and then just going to do a close-up of the corner here and just put a pile of flake food right there. And then they slowly realize, well, they're looking at me now, but slowly one realizes he'll like headbutt the food and it'll come down. My children, this is where you want to be. Ride. Look, you got a headbutt. I'm having a great time. Having a great time here at 1 a.m. while everyone's asleep. The whole family's sleeping and I'm like, look at this fish circus. Honestly, that is, I think they call that winning. There we go. Body slam it. So see, that'd be a good shot with music, right? That's what I get to sit here and think about. Let me check to see if oh my gosh. Come on now. Headbutt that food. All right, you know what? It was impressive when I was here by myself the other day. I'll say that much. It's like red and silver flashes. They were going gobblicious. Now they're like, I might not eat this today. Throw some water lettuce on it. Get in there. Okay, well, you know, I certainly don't want to give y'all too much food, if that's what I did. If y'all aren't that into it, neither am I. You know what I mean? That's a good old fish keeping trick. feed too much, just claw some of it out and compete with them for the food. You know, they are not that crazy about this. I ordered the flakes really because they ran out of granules. Tetramin minimum, so like minimizes how much they poop, less waste. What in the world is that? They're like, we packed it with styrofoam. Looks like a Halloween treat in there. A little fall mix, a little pumpkin spice in there. But sometimes, let's feed the big ones. Yeah, those are the ones that like pop at the top of the water, which is you know, the angelfish, I love how the angelfish hit the top of the water as well. Let's look at the chat right on my wrist. I'll be like Inspector Gadget's niece. And she had some kind of wristwatch. I thought men's like vitamins, huh? You know, maybe it is. You know, and they eventually come around to it. It's definitely trying to tell me something. They were out of everything, and then I went back on Amazon a few days later. It's always half the cost. I don't think it's bootleg, but it is always half the cost of fish foods. Can y'all even see this one? Okay, I am there. All right, little platinum parrots, getting large. They enjoy eating their own eggs. I'm not even sure if they're fertilized eggs, but they have paired off, so thank you guys. At least I can sleep soundly. I need to substrate these guys out. I want to pull these out, put the backgrounds in. I've got those other 2 tanks. I can get them all set up here. I'm pointing to the top one, y'all can't even see it. Y'all are missing the goldfish too because of my framing skills. There we go. There we go. This has been a aphid treating zone. So I've been putting floating plants on here, and I'm under the impression that the cichlids have been ruthless, all 3 of them. The whites, the blue parrots, the jewel. I got 2 little jewels I'm gonna put in there with the big one. And then the goldfish have been completely slacking. The ranchus, I think they're underwater cows. I've got frog bit covered in aphids. Let's see, I'm just gonna give it to Trogdor over here. Trogdor, I need your help. You know, I don't really name fish. It's always bad luck for me. If I name a fish, something bad's gonna happen. That's my theory. So you, the fish known as, well, thank you for running away from me. I said that big fish were easier to treat. They have bigger guts and stuff to fight the parasites, bigger immune systems. But this pump went out on me and it was creating weak bubbles, and I lost a few jewel cichlids really quickly when the air went out. And I'm like, huh, okay. Yeah, I guess if you're a larger fish, probably more water changes, and then the oxygen is probably more dire. I could leave one of these guppy tanks for 48 hours without air, and the plants would head it off enough. These blue parrots are hilarious when they eat. Oh gosh, did I feed too much there? No, I'm good. They'll fight each other if I don't put enough. I had to ick-ex the whole thing. Probably should be feeding them something other than flake. Probably should be submerging the flake. I'm stumbling into this for sure. The thing is, they're a lot bigger now, so at least there's that. Tape my talk curl, the calculator Tamagotchi, the computer to look like Penny. That would be a good sales item. I mean, they need to like resell that. Sometimes it's nice to have big guts, keep you warm on a cold winter night. The aphids have been driving me nuts. And I've got this long video essay. It's like 25 minutes long. I don't know what the end of it's gonna be, except I hate aphids so much. I don't know if I'm just gonna be ladybug man. What are the other things? Lacewings. All of these things, I'm not like trying to live in swarms in my own house. The aphids are so annoying, and I don't know if I get them off the floating plants, are they just gonna move to my monstera? They make me so angry. And they're aquatic, and the ladybugs are not aquatic, and the lacewings are not aquatic. Everyone swims like a stone, except for these aphids. They create a little bubble around them. I hate them! I feel like Anakin. I hate them! Ah! The cichlids have been on point. They're either looking at me or they're trolling. They're trolling up and down for aphids. And there's really a distinct, everyone's on vacation here and the aphids are like, thank you. And get some to the blue parrots. Or right in the middle of the flake feeding, hopefully. I just want frog bit, and it's pastries. It's sweet, delectable pastries to the aphids. What else is on my list? We've got the pearlweed. I'm not thrilled about how the pearlweed is growing up there. Definitely got a golf ball size. Another tank the guppy grass took over. No, 50 pond snails. I guess we'll go do that. No, please. Can I do all big bags in this? I can. So we can also do the Endler Hybrids, the Assorted, and the Blue Star, all in big bags. going to California. Okay, we're on the trail again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Oh, come on, don't fail me now. This is our stop. White pond snails. Radix? Are they Radix snails? I learned the name, and then I keep forgetting it. It sounds like you might mean Radix. That's what I'm reading on Google right now. Radix snails. So celestial cat ears, fat cat ears, not skinny cat ears. White in color, speckled, and celestial. Celestial? If I can say celestial right, and then if I knew the species, I could probably sell these little pond snails for more. They're just interesting. And then anything I can group together and put on the website as a product sells like hotcakes. I hate collecting snails, and I really don't want to do it, but everyone has their price, and I literally price these snails at $1 a piece. They're not kept in outdoor tubs, so they're at least eating what I'm feeding them, and they're at least parasite-free. I know snail leeches, and they don't have snail leeches, so there's that. Gosh, are snail leeches unavoidable outside? Like the bird droppings come down. Aphids are almost the size of fleas. If you can see ants, you'd be able to see aphids. And then every time someone shoots, I'm going to show y'all my aphids. They look different every time. So mine are golden, and I have seen other people with these golden ones. Whatever they are a pain. They don't swim indefinitely. They have to stay on top of something. Y'all see those little suckers. And all hail the Sony cam for being able to do this. I've been filming this aphid documentary for so long that I know exactly how far I can get in with the camera and where I can focus it. So I am a master. I have so much footage like this, and I'm overwhelmed and like lost in the sauce on the editing. Aren't they little turds? I want to punch them. But then they just clone themselves. They don't even need males. They could all just be females that clone themselves. And then are you guys not hungry enough? You know, another score for unhungry guppies. Bubble check. You know, I could probably use a top off and a water change, but I don't think we're dire. They're just cruising. Thanks, guys. Yeah. All right, the snail gathering. This one, pretty good with snails. Get some males nipping at each other. They mess with one female for too long, she'll go like berserk on them too. So you can see that some of these, I mean, maybe that's just an old boy. Huh. Yeah, there we go. Got the black metals in there. We also got the white pond snails. Oh yeah, Peggy Hill. The guppies are like sharks. Mine are like different. My most shark-like guppies are the most assorted bred. The most common, the one with the most genes tend to be the most aggressive. The more pure they are, the more meek they are. And then for Endlers, I just give it up. They're like the kindest guppies that ever did exist. Love your videos. Wanted to ask you about honey gouramis. I don't have experience with those guys yet, other than, of course, gouramis have been my childhood fish, the dwarf gourami, kissing gouramis. I've never tried the honey gourami directly, and I would categorize them as being a little sensitive for me, and since then with the reverse osmosis system, I think that will probably open up for me. I have definitely been in the live bearer world for a long time, both shrimp and fish. But gouramis, yeah. I always think about the croaking gouramis. Like you just come into this room in the middle of the night and they're just like roar, roar, roar. I never want to see my head that big. You know, if I could zoom in though, y'all can get a good idea of what these goopers are doing. I've had weird things happen with this tank. I finally won the algae battle. So all this moss is crazy. You'll have like so much unlucky things go on with moss, and then one day it's just going to choose one corner of your tank to attach to, and then you're just going to look like the moss master. But until then, the algae is going to attack it, the snails are going to attack it. There is a real emergency with this tank, with the snails eating everything. And then they just decided to stop one day. I took enough out that the plants started to overtake how much they could eat. I don't know. Okay, but gosh, yeah, those honey gouramis look nice. I've heard inbred accusations with the honey gouramis, and I'm assuming you can just say that about anything after a certain point, though. You know, I thought the inbred guppy situation was, well, of course it is widespread. I thought it would absolutely hamper me, and it turned out there was a completely different problem. other than inbred betas. This lady on Facebook grilled me for calling them betas. Betas? Quite frankly, both words don't sound correct. Beta, I guess, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Maybe, that's what some people hear. When I hear beta, I hear better. Don't worry, things will get better. I can't handle it. But also, I think I interchangeably, I switch them back and forth. But I've been watching editing footage a lot of times. When I do those tank reacts, they're always betas. And I'm like, I'm hitting the alpha beta every time. That is the one I chose. But this lady came on. She's like, if you're gonna profess yourself as a beta expert, you need to say it right. I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. Because for me, I thought, we're all past the potato thing. I thought wrong. They let you say crazy things on Facebook as well. The moderating, I just think it's like just people grilling each other. Hit the algae with the peroxide. I do like that. I've got the coffee brewing now. I do like the hydrogen peroxide for the algae. 4 milliliters per 10 gallons is the highest I'd go to keep the moss alive. And then Algae Fix will always keep your moss alive, but they will kill your shrimp. I think you could do half dosages on Algae Fix. Maybe it won't kill your shrimp. Really don't like it. And then Algae Fix comes with a 5 millimeter bottle. And that 5 milliliters is like for 50 gallons. You have to use 1 milliliter per 10 gallons. And they don't even have the cup measured for that. So this girl had a tank full of them, and I was like, how much? And she was like $1 a piece. I was like, give me all of them. And when I got there, I had like $60 with me. I was just like, give me 60. Or however much you have, and I'll just give you whatever I have. And she left me in her driveway as she got them out, and then she eventually came out and said, well, just 20. And then she handed me like 40, so it was really awesome. And then I'm not sure if the black mollies were breeding with some of the Dalmatians, because the black mollies in the other tank are a little bit speckled as well. Hair algae is the only thing I use hydrogen peroxide for. It's like there's just, I have to do like weird little things to make my moss win against algae. And then other plants will battle algae and they'll start losing the good fight. And I will have to step in for those plants as well. And I do, whether I have shrimp or not, is whether I use hydrogen peroxide or not. And then, it's helped me win a lot of moss wars. I need to show you all the tank where I always talk about a big ball of hair algae that engulfs my moss. And then once I start treating it correctly, the moss just appears out of the big ball of dead algae. Did you get any packages done? I'm like, no, just hung out. Swordfish are all filled up. Swordfish, swordtails, swordfish. All right, snail time it is. Darn it. I'll try to really get the frame good. So we are missing my midriff. I put the mollies and the platies just right on top of extra guppies I had too. I just did not have enough tanks. So right here, we're filling up some more tanks. Got the RO DI hose. And everyone's looking so good in here. There's only 3 of them. But I have this other one, they're not looking so hot. So I'm gonna use that hose last on them. Cloudy water, it was so low, so I'm thinking the filter is not engaged. I don't like that bouncing up and down. And I saw that before the cloudy water. All right, let's see if we can find something I don't like. I think he's skinny. Yeah, right there, that wobble, right there, center, tilting up. You see that tail flat? Do not like that. What do you got, boy? What do you got? It's just bad. It's like it's just a feeling I get. And the water top certainly reflects that, but that, that's that thing. I dream about fish body language. It's like a puzzle. I can spot them out in other people's videos. I'll spot them out in my own videos. I was like, oh, there's one. There's a wobbler. And sometimes it could be different things. Maybe it's not something sitting in there contagious, but I am obsessed with catching the contagious. All right, 50 of these guys for $50. Let's do it. Didn't set any traps. It's like the game show. You stand in the wind tunnel and you try to grab all the cash. Give me the snails. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Give me your snails. Oh, see, they empty out their air bladder and they sink and dodge you. Little turds, man. Why won't they let themselves become food at my whim? I don't know if they're necessarily being used for food. Someone could be setting up a food culture, or maybe they just want some snails. Gosh, this moss looks so cool, so unintentional, and really so minimal normally. Well, I'm so happy it's taken. It is still battling the algae though. This is not a battle yet won. The Brazilian waterweed is trying. I see victory soon, but a few more doses of algae fix, and it's months long. The time, I would say 60 days when you're dosing with hydrogen peroxide that your battle with algae is going to last. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Definitely takes weeks. And then the algae fix will work quicker than the hydrogen peroxide. That seems to take weeks as well. And right now, these two were being treated at the same rate at the same time, and we can see we're getting cloudy McGrowdy here, even with the duckweed layer. I do not know what I'm doing with these tanks. I mean, they've got the breeder colonies in here. I started with shrimp, and then I think the guppies kind of scared off the shrimp from breeding fully because I watched the population go up and then go down. And then I have such issues putting the shrimp in alone because mosquito larvae starts popping up in the tank. It drives me crazy. I'm thinking baby rice fish all the time, putting baby rice fish in with the shrimp. I'm not seeing as many snails. They're always on this piece of wood. That is always the worst though. You start running low on something, you have to scavenge harder. I've got a few tanks though, these snails, so I think we're good. A lot of the scuds I sell, a lot of the pea puffer, or a lot of the snails, I'm pretty sure I sell to pea puffer owners. There's one guy just gets ram's horn snails every 2 months, and I'm pretty sure that's what he's rolling with, or pea puffers. I'm like looking at the tank with y'all. Ooh, Mystery Science Theater. They're real tiny in here. Oh my gosh, man, I'm shocked myself every time I look in the camera. It's like a mystery snail right next to him, and the mystery snail's like, oh, not quite. He's gray. He's a pond snail, and he looks like the Radix snail, but he's gray. I feel like it's the same phenotype though. Kind of, you roll with the white mystery snails and the blue ones, and then there's the wild type. Do they all hatch like different colors? I see you. I see the white one right there. You dare hide from me in my own house. I will find you. I'll give them a gray one and give them extra as well. Mystery snails they are a really good snail. Let me check that water level. Holy crap, red. Okay, well, I'm gonna show y'all this. The ins and outs of fish keeping. So, I think I'm leaking onto the floor. Not good. As we can see, there's one tank that is not like the others. And I'm definitely on the top. We're overflowing a little bit. So, we've got a code red. I just need a little jolt. Just a little off the top, please. Oh, there's my pearlweed. Nice. All right, just a little off the top. Now we can finally get the sick boys over here. Not the sick boys, that's just one that's sick, but I treat them all like they're sick. And I swear this is a Platy specific thing that I'm looking at. This is something that I would say has haunted me since I purchased these guys from Petco. And with each generation, it thins out more and more, but if I just leave them in the tank and observe for like 7 months, I'll see it pop back up. So there you have it. I should have had the beeper on it. The only beeper I've got is the one on the trash water right now. And I don't want to touch it on the other stuff because it touches all of the discard water. You know, the females who birth these, I put them all outside in hopes that it'll do something cool. I'm thinking I'm gonna grab this pearlweed and I'm gonna shake out the duckweed, or I can get, it looks more raggedy. I've got pearlweed outside, but I don't wanna give anyone dragonfly larvae by mistake. I haven't had the mesh covers on for long enough to be sure. Then we got the pearlweed up here with the orange shrimp. It's so bizarre. Why are these lights going blue? These are the, is it hiker? They're like clip-ons. Super affordable, 3 lights with 1 plug. So I just clip across 6 tanks. It only took 2 outlets, and I need my outlets. It's a cool tank to look at. Gosh, I love these guys. They have not bred for me. These are the original 3 I have. Gosh, I love it so much. I wanted Santa Maria for so long, and I was about to, Dan's fish They were like $40 a pair. It was a pretty excruciating. And then I found this single eBay listing where they were selling the Santa Maria. I ordered them and I accidentally selected 2 females and they just sent me 2 females and I was like, what is going on? I looked closer, realized it was my fault. So I eventually waited and found someone selling just the males. So I was able to get a male from a different colony than those females, and I have such high hopes for this. As you can see, they're playing games. And I do have, well, okay, it's not, it's all crystal wart at the top, and then I've got about 1/4 of a patch of guppy grass in the back of that. So enough for Fry to hide, you would think. Maybe not. We got good guppy action. Do we need to squat lower? Endler action, you know what I meant. There you go, you can kind of, yeah. See, you can see a little bit of what's going on past the algae patch. All right. Do not fear. We have a keg in the making. Look, they eventually ate that vitamin food. Get you some of that. All right, where am I? I'm seeing some snails that I can use right there. That's the breed. So high up though, don't make me climb up there. Oh, see, there we go. That's a good example. That's a good example of the boys I'm grabbing. I see a funny swimmer. You swimming normal? God, your eyes bulging at me? That's a new black molly. He's just like speckled around his eyes. Why are your eyes so big? It's got little white spots on them. I'm like, ick. Where'd he go? So I could see him in real life, but not on the viewfinder. Big ol' eye. We are friends in this tank. Okay, give me that guy. 13. They make little bubbles. Gosh, I'm getting tired. What in the world? I spent so long playing with my camera and stuff. Well, I'll get started all day. I'll start checking the temperatures in the morning, get it written down in my notes. I get the boxes prepared. If I do it in separate phases, it's very therapeutic almost. I stuck my hand in the Facebook tank, so I'm gonna wash it with soap. Rinse off the soap. I'm gonna dig in this one for the rest of those snails. These could be a little bit bigger. You know, they don't have crazy long lifespans, so I really do try to go from the biggest to the smallest. I remember there's a bunch here with the panda guppies, so I might try to do that. Sold a bunch of El Tiger females too. Sometimes you get these Endlers, and I always go in valuing the females more. And a lot of times you'll see that if you want to buy the females separate, the males will be $8 and then the females will be $12 or something like that. But some of these Endlers, just the females are the prominent ones. And they're large and silver and they don't add a lot of color to the tank. So you definitely get to a point where you're like, all right, well, that's enough. And something about some of the breeds, how they interact with your water or somebody else's water, just a surplus of females, and that is the L Tiger Endlers for me. Now the yellow tigers, not the L, but the yellows, it's pretty male heavy. It's a lot of color in that tank. And not enough females, so I am always running out of those guys. There's no telling. Stack Endlers are kind of female heavy too with me. All right, wash hand, snail cup. I would say I get it done in probably half the time I'm rolling right now. I do some lollygagging, but goodness, I'm on some real ramblers right now. Usually the rambling always just happens right in my head, and it kind of stops with the first or second thought. But with the stream, I could just keep going on and on. You know, they've wrapped themselves around the heater. When I stick my chunky hot dog fingers around the heater, I can see them drop down. So we can do this the easy way or the real easy way. Come here. My favorite is if you go in to grab one, you grab the wrong way and you accidentally damage the shell. I'm just like, oh, no, I need you, please. I wouldn't send the damaged snail. I'll just drop it back and hope it repairs its shell. But what in the world? You grab enough of these night after night, you'll have every situation happen to you. Oh gosh, another gross one. You know, nothing. Well, I've had mystery snails climb out of tanks and I would find them halfway dried out, throw them back in, and they have a higher survival rate than you think after putting themselves through that. But the ram's horn, I will accidentally drop on the ground as I'm going through and I'm dealing with hundreds of ram's horns or I'm rinsing out a tank or whatever. They'll go everywhere. And oh, the worst one is like stepping on a snail though. Like the crunchy, please don't make me do it. Oh, the algae ball. Here we go. So my blue star tank, I love, this is showing a demonstration of what I usually experience, which is just a massive algae takeover when I'm trying to enjoy my moss. This is some Cameroon moss, I know it because I marked it on the tank. and just enveloped, absolutely enveloped. This is an interesting tank. What are you doing down there, girl? Looking at me from under there. This is an interesting tank where it had a scud population, and I feel like they were beaten back by the Endlers. Oh, she popped back out of there. See if I can't find her. No, I don't see any. What in the world is she doing? I'm always on body language patrol, and I'm always on poop patrol. I always love looking at those strings of poop. Make sure nothing's stringy. Didn't do the overfill. I've been dipping this hook in all of my tanks. This is my osmosis hook. That's what it looks like. I could use a few more zip ties. It's about to fill up, so I'm gonna try to talk faster. Oh crap, no, I forgot. Oh, I dunked this in so many tanks, and the last tank it went in was that Platy swimming weird. So this is going to get bleached. This is going to go in a tub with a cup of concentrated bleach for every 10 gallons. And it's going to soak for 10 minutes, and holy crap, the water's coming. Oh my God, snails. It is the worst thing collecting snails. Even scuds, you know, and I can bait them. I could have baited them this whole time. You could do a little snail trap, do a little bit of snail bait. And I've been baiting a lot of scuds too. Once I start getting desperate for scuds, you leave these overnight and they'll be crawling all in it. It's disgusting. It's like sand fleas almost. Well, it's disgusting until I sell them, and then I turn into Mr. Krabs. So there is a good reason for capitalism. Makes you swallow your fear, face animals you would otherwise not handle. Blue stars. Okay, I need some blue stars. I'm going to do a regular bag so we don't need the pliers. And since I've got a big box, regular bags will do. You know, the real pro move is just to grab the cup, bag them up. Okay, that's snails. I've got fresh plastic cups. I don't, in the spirit of not cross-contaminating, I always have a stack of clean cups. I always have a stack of cups that I recently bleached in the bleach cycle. And I usually keep the types of cups in front of the tank, and I'm pretty sure this cup is from this guy. Snail shells. We remember our fallen mystery snails. The lessons learned. Okay, I think you've got the right cup. Look at them. They're like, yeah. 2 females, 1 male. Oh God, it's not good. The females are always so cautious. Please. You know what else I'll do if I can't sell fish is I offer free fry. That is another great way to stand out. And then you have to catch the fries. So that, oh my gosh, it is only fry in here. Are you kidding me? Please. Do I need the stool? Are they gonna make me get up on it? It seems like it. It seems like they want me to get the net. You know, I don't think it's like super bright to start streaming in the middle of the night when I got the honk shoes on my brain. But it's really the optimal time that I pack. And also the house is quiet. So I guess there's some good things that come along with that. Gosh dang duckweed. I've not seen anything grow in this tank. And now somehow duckweed took hold. Out of control. Everyone is out of control in this tank. I've gotten this bird's eye view, and this one over here, this other one is just Aphidzilla. What the heck? Got some old matriarchs in here. There we go. Oh my gosh, he's a throwback. So I've got a male with the red stripe, and he is going to have to go. And another one. Oh yes, here's the clean cups. So it's a blue star Endler, but he has that red throwback stripe. I'd like to just get him out right now. There we go. We got a female and a fry. And then let's get another big female. Let's get a female. Make me proud. No, little female. I swear the Endlers, like, they almost have a system where they decide who the biggest females get to be. And when I move the biggest females out of there, can I get you out and you in? When I get the biggest females out of there, the small females will turn big, and then I'll get like 3 or 4 more satellites in the tank. Is that my imagination? It might be. All right, guys, thank you for your service. 1, 2, a 3, and a fry. How about that? You put the fry in there, and they're like, this is a very viral, prolific bunch of fish. They're having fry in the bag, but they're not having fry in the bag. The bonus. No, I'm just kidding. Not trying to fool anyone. Obviously the fry are so large they weren't born in the bag. But that was such a pleasant surprise for me getting the black bar Endlers. I opened them in the mail. Have I been doing just like abdomen shots the whole time? I hope I got under my shirt. It'll be hot because we're a little low, huh? Yeah. What an angle for me to get. Well, anyways, got them, got the order. Got the extra fry in the bag. We've got the big bag. Gravid spot, gravid spot. It's definitely a female. These babies are looking normal. All right. Just practice getting the shot in the bag. See, that's pretty good. I wish the Sony Cam got 60 frames per second. I feel like I'd be easier to get them when they dart, but there you go. Yeah. Blue Star Endler. Love these guys. Brenton, are you a live bear? What do you keep? Only fins? Is that what that? Whoa! I've got the black bar Endlers, the yellow tiger Endlers, Santa Maria Endlers, stack Endlers. A lot of genes that I think are throwback in terms of, oh, I could point the camera at myself. I can't do that. Like there's these silver, here we go, I could show them right here. I've got a bunch of these guys in a separate tank, or these breeder called them throwbacks. I've just been calling them throwbacks. Focus on the gray fish. So it's just a little gray male and he has a red stripe right down his side. And I've seen them come from the black bar, the yellow tiger, and the blue stars. So definitely kept my eye on those. I've mixed some of the Endlers together from those breeds. Key lime, they look kind of like the black bar, but I've got the key limes in a separate tank. I am very attracted to the guppies and the betas. In a lot of ways, I'm recreating every fish I've ran into through my childhood though. So of course the swordtails, mollies and platies, are live bears. I've also picked up the angelfish. Got 5 angelfish, got 1 black one. I picked these up sick and raw from Petco. They were wobbling and I just wanted to pick a fight. And 100% on the Petco, my dime size. I need to bring the camera over there. So I'm dabbling in angelfish. I like mystery snails, crustaceans. Shrimp are live bearing, so they certainly go well with the live bearing guppies. I've got a lot of pure string guppies. So black metal, red dragon, green dragon. Oh my gosh, is that all the guppies I have? Oh, the blue night Endlers, yellow tuxedo Endlers, the chili red Endlers, but that's not a colony. I've got the panda guppies. I've got some cane cobra guppies that just spawned. So it is a lot of live bearers. And then I have 5 Ranchu goldfish. I've got 5 blue parrot cichlids, 2 platinum parrot cichlids. So I've been playing with the cichlids that are a lot of fun. Live bearers are so easy to get into, and then it's so fantastic that when you do kind of the same category of fish, I feel like taking care of a very large section of them is a lot easier. Like the labor to take care of 30 guppy tanks is the same labor it would take to take care of 4 different tanks that are like 4 different fish. What else? A lot of sucking fish. Loaches, I really like the loaches as well. I want a golden dojo loach. It gets me in trouble because I should hyper focus, right? I should have every type of guppy and then just every colored shrimp. And I think that the website would be a lot more successful. I get caught up in playing though a lot. And I'm like, oh, white cloud minnows. These come from a white cloud mountain in China and they're extinct out in the wild. So how cool. And they're like, you know, a very nice $3 or $4 fish. And I should be specializing. In a lot of ways, I'm recreating fish I always saw as a kid. So yeah, I could keep talking about that. Yes, the El Silverado. That is what they call it. I called them Blue Night. That's pretty funny. I think they are the L. I'll have to double check because my thought process, I'll have 12 clean tanks. So I will order 12 strains all at once and I will get everyone ready for like a hospital treatment and just get ready to tackle things. And I never know who's going to spawn prolifically for me or not. And my success rate has gone from 50% to maybe like 85 or 90%. So I should memorize the names as they come in, but I almost sometimes plant them down. And then when I see someone working out really well for me, I go, what's that again? And I'm like, oh yeah, these are the El Silverados I put off to the side. I think they're the El Silverados. That sounds about right. Gosh, I don't like this water being so low over here. I peeked over this edge and like all of my frog bed is being decimated and these butterfly plants are getting attacked by aphids. And I'm like, man, you little turds. I haven't figured out the documentation thing with Endlers yet. Like I'm not quite clear. Like my black bars came from LRB and then they were supplemented off to the side what, you know, LRB says, you know, they're purebred black bars. So I just go off of that. And then I turn around and I sell off of my colonies and I just call them purebred. But there seems to be, yes, the wildlife caught documentation that comes in and tells you, what's the word they use? S-line genetics or A-line genetics. And it seems like unlike anything else, and I guess that's because these are actively still coming from South America. And then a lot of the pure strains with names, I understand, there's like 5 or 6 wild types, and then every other strain is a mix of those wild types and or a little injection of guppy genetics in there. I certainly been playing on the playground without like sharpening up my exact knowledge of that. So there you have it. I definitely need to know what in the world's going on with that documentation. And, you know, people will contact me and they'll be like, do you have documentation for these black bars? And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. And then it's a little daunting too. It's like, oh man, talking about the N class, right? Okay, yes, line bred guppies like you have, and then wild endlers that come from different locations. Interesting. And then so a lot of hubbub about them coming from the different locations because, I mean, it's obvious that like autos are like shocked out of the rivers and they're able to be collected wild a lot cheaper than even breeding them in captivity. So that's somehow like different than the endlers, or there's, I guess, there's more marking variations to get categorized in the wild, or they take maybe the 5 basic wild types. Yeah, I definitely, I swear to God, you Google that, you start poking around in different places and it's almost like you get a different, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe you don't get a different story everywhere you go. But the definitions and parameters seem to slide just a little bit. Maybe I made that up though. Maybe they're a lot more clear and I just need to look harder, which would not be a first. I would describe my method as maybe like a bull in a china shop. I kind of just charge in a lot of cases. Now I do, there we go, y'all like that grab? Muscle memory. It's just a big, maybe not enough air. I'm gonna try this, look at the size of this cooler I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna bring this guy out. Okay, what am I doing? This thing, I wanna fit 3 guppy bags in here. Well, so if you're ever gonna measure, this would be the time to do it. Air suction, please. Okay, so yeah, I could get this sucker in here. So as we can see, I just got 3 bags to put in here. We could probably put 4. All right, I'm like looking at it's either a hair off my head or a hair off my mustache in the bottom of the box. I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to get my body hair out of the box before I send someone their fish. That is a good idea. Still live. That's good. That's real good. When the camera doesn't malfunction, that's a good day. I'm part of a conservation database, and the reason people ask is because we can register them and get more as they spawn and have a database for conservation. Interesting. Huh. I'm gonna have to do some long thoughts about that one. Am I contributing to the problem by not registering them? Is there like a missing parts of the database and they need people to participate? It's pretty interesting. Lost in thought in the middle of the stream. It's the Brenton way. The old double bag. Love to do the inverse. Even the scuds don't get caught up in the cracks, as far as I can tell. That's working easy. Blue stars away. Like the French blue stars. You talk about a father and a son. Were they French fish keepers in South America under a bridge somewhere? Always run into like these stories. Of course, the yellow tiger Endler I heard was line bred by Adrian with black bars and yellow tiger Endlers. So that is like a designer. It's a selectively bred. Pulled the old George Mendel with the peas. So I know that part, or I think I know parts of that part. So we've got hybrid guppies he wants, and then he wants common guppies. My hybrid guppies and common guppies have been looking similar. There are differences. I just want to make sure that there's males that kind of resemble. And you know, when someone buys assorted guppies from me, I always like to sometimes do a surprise and put like a $10 male in there in place of like a $3 male. So it will be like a blonde female guppy and then maybe like the red counterpart of male guppy of that blonde female. And then I'll just take one of these checkerboard black metal laces and pop them in there if it's like apparent that they want like a mixture. So I don't know, that was a tiny little story there. You could get documentation, you can participate if you can. If you want to participate, you can. Okay. What's your website? My website is brentonsfish.com. That's what I'm going to say in my commercial one day. Gosh, we're like, it's a little bit like a submarine in here. I keep checking the clock, and the clock put itself to sleep. More pondering about fish. Oh yeah, let me show y'all my pride and joy, the little koi angelfish. I got the koi angelfish at Petco. They looked visibly sick. I think just the trio. You know, you're not supposed to give them copper safe. A lot of times I'll whip right into the copper safe, but I just did the old Aquarium co-op trio. Maybe I didn't put ICX and just erythromycin, like just angrily looking at me. They're like, sir, why do you have guppies in this tank? So just a really strange group of guppies, and they seem to have survived those angelfish because the angelfish were put in their nickel size. I've got a black angelfish. There's something dark and dreary going on here. So I had big old black angelfish that were, God, what is this? Probably the size of coasters. So these are the size of like maybe a 50-cent piece, and the other ones are the size of a coaster. And 3 out of 4 died on me. Just the wildest thing happened. And I went back to the store to see if any of them were alive, because I'm like, have I lost my mind? Is this a columnaris infection? Is how it acted. I still see a clamped fin by the black angelfish in the corner. I am super not happy with that. I got cocky with the doxycycline. Having the doxycycline on hand, I got cocky watching these guys heal with the RO water, and just RO water, 80 degree Fahrenheit, erythromycin, metronidazole. Oh my gosh, is there a fire ant on me? Yeah, get on out of here. There's a third thing. I think a dash of salt. I might have even skipped the ICX. Oh, praziquantel, metronidazole, praziquantel, erythromycin. And gosh, they came thundering. One was missing half a fin. The top fin was completely gone, and I wasn't even sure if that was like just a deformity, but that came back, and nothing feels better. The only thing better than bringing back a sick fish is a successful spawn, and I fully stand by that. I think a lot of people are knocked out of this hobby just with the dead fish thing. I almost overflowed this tank. I need some liquid detectors, and isn't that it's just something is amuck, but they are happy for the top off. It's definitely ready for a change. The water level got below the filter, so we got bubbles. I'm not gonna stick my hand in there. I'm trying to leave some headspace for those mystery snails to climb up and down the algae. And it's so strange because you know you're good when they just eat everything once a day, just all the green beans gone. But you can see here the calcium, some of the Tums is left. It's just not quite as clean. They're not going as fast as this group, and gosh, they were bashful too. It took them, they eat every day like humans, you know, and I think just one day they start to get hungry, and they are so bashful and just kind of hid the first day they're here, but now they kind of get up and go everywhere. But the quickest eaters are just all over the place all the time. You put green beans in there. I've just been following the local fishkeeper, and she said she uses her tap water, but I have been putting them in RO water. It's the next county over, so I think she's got better water than me. Maybe not. But she said green beans, zucchini, algae wafers. And she skips one day. Algae wafers they get once, the other 2 they get twice a week. She doesn't even blanch it. Blanching be so easy these days. You just microwave it. And mid-thought, I'm like, oh my gosh, wasn't I taking a break? No, I'm doing the mystery snail. The sickness is coming from other fish, or things just happen randomly? Both, Big Chop. Is it just the Petco fish? Yes. So, I used to harp on the suppliers a lot. I think the suppliers know a lot more of what they're doing than I, used to initially give them credit for when I was like the frontline consumer. What's happening is they send them pretty good out in the mail, and I think during shipping the immune system gets knocked down, and then when they land at Petco or PetSmart, there's all the gunk and all the parasites from all the previous fish, and so these lowered immune systems get introduced to that, And I think these guys, you know, probably catch 3 or 4 things at once. And then they have a clock ticking when you get them. When you go and you look at them at the store and they're wobbling, there's a clock ticking. And really that store is just waiting for them all to die out, especially the live bears. You'll see live bears disease taking hold. And, you know, that's a few things happening at once, or it could be one of many things. The point is that they're sick, they're gross. And what I think about these angels is they were good at the suppliers. They get a little weakened in the shipment, and then they got put in with those sick platies. And they're just sitting there with just a random group of fish. And the sump, however they have these things connected, whatever their cleaning process is, they are getting sick in those stores. And it's different store to store. They all get the same mail trip, and they're probably, you know, knocked down considerably. But yes, when I order from PetSmart or Petco, I always enjoy kind of the rock bottom prices. It's usually not like show quality fish. But then it's also a good practice run into the parasite world. And there's some things that aren't even healable. You know, there's some parasites that are evolved alongside the pet industry that they have perfectly aligned themselves, like the neon tetras. They're just like flat line, and just you lose one neon after another, and it only affects the neon tetras. That's I think a parasite or a bacteria that has completely evolved to infect exactly that kind of fish. But with that, and even with, you know, parasites evolving and getting stronger and being able to fight off diseases and stuff, or being able to fight off medicines and stuff, I think it's actually a very high success rate if you have the right water and you've got a good system down and you're bleaching all of your equipment. I mean, I've been able to kick down the door at Petco and even have a 95 or a 90% success rate. And when I first started fish keeping, when I see others first start it, it's more like a 40% success rate from Petco or PetSmart. I cannot believe it is almost 3 a.m. Wonder the cichlids are acting so rowdy. The cichlids make you go to bed like an old cat does in the world. Yeah, you know, I've got the mystery snails in this glass tank, and they are active. They are good. I can just tell that like there's like a party going on right here. The water's a lot clearer, and these guys are just keeping up with what I'm throwing in there. And it's just, it's interesting, just completely different than receiving an Endler or a Platy. Gosh, I love Platies too. I love them all. What a rat nest though too, huh? It's roughly like sections. Boil driftwood, and I was banned from using the kitchen utensils. So I got my own pot. It even has like wooden sap from when I tried to boil my own driftwood that I found disgusting, dude. So I guess it's good they banned me to my own cookware. I got traps, books, hot glue, Atlas Aquarium. I swear, you could just make a living reading the information in books that no one's willing to read and then just saying it out loud. I'll sit and I'll read a few pages of that big fish disease book that's like $150 or $180. And will blow my mind. Do I read it cover to cover? No, not yet. Infinite content glitch. Gosh, those fish are swimming funny, but they were just chasing each other. I'm trying to decide which ones will be the best mixed. I think these guys would be the best hybrid examples right here. And I think my best mixed examples is right here. So they ordered Assorted and that specific black bar guppy hybrid. The most impressive females look like this. Why is that guy dragging? Is he just deformed? That's pretty mesmerizing. All the snails are just like, whoa. I don't like how he's swimming. It's like a shrunken black bar though. What a strange little guy. Just crawl across the floor like a dog. Okay, on the road again. Watch me as I watch. These guys are ridiculous. I wonder how far away I can. I've got my capture card kind of pinned. Oh, we can kind of get out of here. You see them. I need to treat that, but that is all those little plain Janes. I just saw a yellow tiger. What in the world? I didn't know I had a yellow tiger in there. I found a flat belly the other day, mitronidazole. But if you see more than one flat belly, if you got like 4 flat bellies flying around, gosh, I love that doxycycline. I hit them with that gram negative and that gram positive. Oh gosh, these L tigers are looking good. You know, probably why they're building a genetic database too. It's like these are completely different than the other L tigers. I already said that. Who's the flagtails? Close enough. Yes, yes. This colony makes some blondies, but that is the hybrid group. That other group looks really healthy, but I don't know if the Dylan with a flat stomach or just a kind of a crooked back, bad genes scenario. So I'm just going to pluck that guy out later and keep a watch probably for 2 more months on that other tank to see if anything pops up. That should be completely clean though. Or rather, I started that colony with very healthy stock, so I thought for sure. Let's see what these guys are doing. Come on down to the floor. You know, they kind of glow. I like to grab the very large females and they have, see, I could tell she has it. Some of these females, they'll come out with like a glowing tail. That's what I like to send. It's looking like only the males are glowing. Let me see what angle I'm getting on this. Probably not even, oh my gosh. Is that even, you can even see me down there. Look how dirty this floor gets. It gets all of the shavings from all of the other ones. If I put calcium in the tank above, oh gosh, I don't talk about these black neons enough. They're massive, by the way. They're the same size as the cherry barbs. Okay, getting in order. My children, it is time for your final journey into your final home. Come with me. I am Xavier, Renegade Angel. That's a good one. Like, why did he give me so many extra fish? Well, because I don't want to sort them. Gosh, that's a good looking one. Man, just like super vivid red. Haven't looked close enough everywhere. Looking really good. I'd like to send a little blonde one. And get him. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. So I'm going to have to fish out duckweed. Not like super chill. It's probably going to want a female. I want to put something fun in there. You know, the green dragons have a lot of mutations. So I'll often put a mutated green dragon in there for their assorted guppy mix. I have assorted and then I have the hybrids. My assorted are different than the hybrids, but they look very close in the bag. These genes haven't settled yet, so I'm seeing some crazy males in there. Okay, all right. Was that like my back the whole time? That would be great. Another edition. Yeah. No, you know, we got some knees in there. What up, Sam? Take it easy, smart person. Thanks for stopping by. Guppy. Oh gosh, so I'm doing a duckweed dip. So I grabbed it from, well, yeah, I thought I was going to get to grab it from the duckweed free tank. That would have been nice. Scoop them in. I saw a flat belly. Don't like that. So that's going to be on a 2-month little viewer, 2-month observation period. Things that make me rub my eyes. And then the other mixed one, someone cleaned me out. Let me see. As soon as they come out with C-3PO, I'm putting a camera in his hand and making him follow me around. Like, sir, I can speak 700 languages. I'm like, videotape me. C-3PO? Okay. Videotape me looking at these fish. It's a good group. Y'all shouldn't even be in there. Y'all hid from me. And how did y'all hide from me being so big? This is like an all silver male and he has this awesome looking tail. That's like the only color to him. It's like minimalism, but with guppies. And that guy back there. Okay. You ever just crawl around on your floor like a dog? I have. Nirvana. You ever do a 4-hour stream and not complete your orders? That's me. The Platy's under the sun outside. I like pulled back and the adults are jumping at me. There's ones that almost look like the size of adults. Got a heater hanging out. Get back in there. Get back in there, heater. Nice try. So the babies were jumping at me. The adults were jumping at me. I'm excited. Butterfly blue platies. Just, you know, something real basic from the front lines. I don't want to use either of those. So what I'm going to do is I will grab a couple of females from different breeds. Got to do a green dragon and a black metal. That'll be kind of cool to get that as your assorted guppy. So I don't want to get him assorted guppy from flat tank. And I know my outdoor ones, I have them mixed properly as well. I've got the mixed colonies, but you know, sometimes you just need to grab a goth fish, and that is the black metal lace. Let's do it. So this guy got 3 blue stars, 3 assorted. Why do I hear water? Nope, that's my imagination. Hearing things, hallucinating things. It's late in the fish room. What is the monstera you have next to you? A basic. I've got one of these guys falling on me right now. Just the basic, just your basic standard Monstera. You know, the $35 ones, $30 ones from Lowe's or Home Depot. And it's still in a dirted pot, and all the tendrils have gone into the fish tank. And I kind of like it more than the pothos. That would be nice. Where's a clean cup? There is like no duckweed. How nice. No duckweed in this. Get yourself, there we go. I mean, hopefully they'll forgive me. Technically, I don't know. Technically it is assorted, but the genes aren't quite mixed yet. Oh yeah, one green dragon female. Boop. So a black metal female, a green dragon female, a full-on mixed blonde, or I can get a blonde half black. We'll use one of these guys. Yeah, oh, masterful, absolutely masterful. So that would be our assorted. It's supposed to be 3. I put 5 in there. And you know what? It does not normally take me this long. I've been a lollygagger and a half. My garage right now is sitting at like 76, 78 degrees. So a lot of times I'll put these guys uncovered in the garage and they'll sit at the right temperature. Give it the grab, give it the twist. They're not dizzy. They don't have eardrums. You need eardrums to get dizzy. I'm not sure. You know, you definitely cross this threshold with them where you go from being the food supplier to the predator, and eventually you'll regain their trust again and get back in the food supplier. Usually immediately when they land into their home waters. Mentally they're ready to eat. I don't think physically. I always want to feed them when they land. And one time, Jadrin's Aquatics, I ordered from him, and in his instructions, he said, don't feed the fish for a day. And then I fed the fish, and one got bloated. And I was like, that's probably good advice. And I've loosely been following that. I think I mentioned it on my website. If people have a way they like to acclimate fish, you know, I would definitely encourage them to do it their way. But yeah, no lights on and no fish food for a day. You're in a very precarious spot where that fish is sensitive. That's probably the right way to take it. You know, in the middle of summer too. We'll write on this sucker. Give me a black permanent marker. When people want to acclimate these, I hope they don't put the black permanent marker inside their tank. I do it on the outside bag, hoping they would rip off the outside bag. And if they felt inclined to float them, they would perhaps use the inside bag. I remember someone, I think it was Jadrin's Aquatics again, he was talking about how he was having more successful spawn rates because he stopped using the container that was exposing them to black permanent marker. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that does play a part. When I send the breather bags out and I need to label them, a lot of times I don't. If you can decipher what's going on in that bag, I won't take the time to label. Usually I'm just going so fast. And, pulling up your receipt on the phone, like, oh yeah, order 3 Blue Star. No, I don't think that's too big of a problem. The breather bags, though, I don't want to write any marker on the outside. I don't know what in the world gets sucked through. So I'll put painter's tape around the tag and I'll write on that painter's tape. That's how I'll label, the old breather bag. So no duckweed in that bag, because I try to play duckweed against each other. And I use that mechanism where it floats on the top to try to get it mostly out of the way. And then of course, when you pour the fish, you pour it the same way that you emptied all the duckweed, because it's stuck all the way around. And that's how I try to not duckweed my customers. And I love when I'm trading with someone or talking with someone and they let me know they don't mind the duckweed. I'm like, well, I am about to make it rain. Aquarium glitter all over the place. What are the main type of fish you sell? Anything that performs well in my fish room. But, live bears and shrimp. I might be out on my shrimp. I have some mixed colonies, some Red Riley mixed colonies. Bloody Mary and Blue Carbon Riley is on the recharge. Blue Jelly and Orange are on the recharge. So a lot of shrimp, a lot of guppies, live bears. I want to do rice fish, and I have a pretty good strong, I've only got 3 or 4 Daisy's rice fish left, but they were doing really good. If my Corys spawned again and I got those up, love to start getting betas going. But yeah, live bears, shrimps. Are Scuds live bearing? Scuds are live bearing. Isn't that funny? Anything live bearing, I'll take it on. The Mexican dwarf crayfish, are they come from Mexico, or did I just stick Mexican in there? Yeah, they are Mexican crayfish, I think. They're dwarf. Those are awesome. And they absolutely blow my mind. Came across a little piece of information. When in the world, platies are a Mexican fish, and it just blows my mind that there's that much color. And it's like the closer you get to the equator, the more color you get. And the native species of fish. I don't know where I thought they were from, but just learning that a few months ago, I was like, man, that blows my mind. They'd go well outdoors here in Florida then. I'm currently doing convicts, fire mouse, platinum parrots, just starting to attempt betas. I do like betas. I've got my little platinum parrots keep spawning on me, really caught me off guard. Haven't gotten sand or anything in there. Haven't really got it past its quarantine stage. Of course, I'm a little slow with that. But yeah, I'm new to the cichlids, to the point where I might call them cichlids every once in a while. And those have been a lot of fun as it comes in on 4 a.m. Those have been a blast. A bag. Okay, I was de-duckweeding that, and I'm going for a commoner's bag. I'm testing the new liquid detectors, and if they work, just the common ones that, you know, come off of Amazon, I am going to be buying those by the dozens. All right, straight hybrid, straight Guppy Endler Hybrid. You know, these guys, I described the 3 or 4 breeds that went into them, and I feel like that makes them a little more interesting than most. They have half black bar, half black blue, and black bar, red mosaic. There's a third one in there. Gosh, what a small body of water. That's what they look like. Well, it's a small female, but there's 2 fry in there, so 5 total. A small female, a larger size female, 2 fry, and a male. I do this over my trash can so I don't drip, but that's what this looks like. Do you think they're singing, "Don't go chasing waterfalls"? Big old waterfall down the middle. This water is room temperature, so they're kind of getting a little chilly jolt, but I'm going to put them in that 76-degree garage. It would be a miserable garage during the day, but during the night it's kind of nice for our tropical friends. Usually like to put a little bit more water, but really this is okay. More water because it's like more insulation. The more water that goes in there, the more weather resistant you can get it. And I can send these big bags in 26-degree weather. If it's the low 26 and it comes up, oh God, look at these guys. They're like, we're free. Come, let's do the conga line right out of the sails. We're free. That's what I think a voice of a snail sounds like. And put a little top there. My goodness, I thought I was up early, but you were bagging a fish in a live stream. No sleep for the workaholics in the fish world. Do I say good morning or good evening? It is definitely a good evening. A late night. The kids go to bed at 8, and I usually start at 8 p.m. It usually takes me about 4 hours, so about midnight, I'm done. They expect the fish, much like the sick children on Balto. I lost my chat. Is it in my pocket? Oh, there we go. What if I had like a Power Rangers medallion? How can we buy fish from you? Oh my gosh, message retracted. Gotcha. Oh, I should probably like break into it like every 30 seconds, just like snap into an automated robo message. BrentonsFish.com. They're going to get this and say, I didn't order anything from Amazon. Fresno, California, kind of nice weather. Oh my gosh. Do they not want to fit? Kind of tight. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I've got the eye. I've got the eye. I was going to say no pieces of duckweed, but I see 2 translucent pieces, and I think they're going to die in the mail. The duckweed, not the fish. The little bit of duckweed that is not supposed to be in here. Almost dead already. Hopefully, a little translucent. No, I'm sorry. I see it. 1 piece of duckweed. Dear Brenton's Fish customer, I am sending your package in a bargain Amazon box. It is unfortunately in better condition than the one I was originally going to send, and now 1 piece of duckweed. You know, It's not the worst. Oh my gosh, should I get my beard hair out of the bottom? I don't even have a beard anymore. That's how long my hair's been down there. Make sure I'm not sending. Oh, I did leave the beard hair in there. Embarrassing, dude. There we go. Now they'll never know unless they watch the stream. Okay. Yeah, the UPS shipping has been fascinating me. I think that there's like more efficient sizes that I can hit, and that is also a college major on its own. Shipping and logistics, just the dimension sizes and what prices they are. Because there's loopholes. There's like a lot of cool things you can do for the same amount of price as doing normal things if you play your mail cards right. I think that's what we're looking like. It, yes, looks crazy, lots of extra room. This also needs pearl weed. So, almost done. 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 orders as we check out the shoes. I need to make sure I got the right fish. Wouldn't that be something if it was so late and I'm so whack-a-dude out? I'm just grabbing the wrong fish. All the lights are on. The fish are like, Father, why am I still alive? Brenton, I need to hire you. Seems like you have some serious flexible hours you could work with. That's true, but I grew the long hair to show the world that I am unemployable. I'm not sure. I will say, given my experience at other desk jobs, the fish are my coworkers for a reason. A handful of pearl weed, okay, yeah, and then, oh, thank God, no. Oh my gosh, the scuds are everywhere. The scuds are everywhere. The snails are running from me. I guess I'll show y'all the scuds and then turn off the stream because, oh my gosh, I need to go to bed and then I need to continue this tomorrow. I'm gonna set snail traps out because I think I've gotten maybe 15 of the 50 snails I need. I need the stack endlers, so that's another fish that's coming my way. Okay, so this is the pearl weed. I'm annoyed I've got duckweed. Then I was trying to grab some snails. Watch for the scuds. Do you see, oh man, boom. Oh, do you see one? I'm trying to get, one just flew up at me. Well, I want to grab a fresh bunch so I can like maximize getting them. Oh, there goes one. They bury in the mulm, those little turds. Okay, well, I can't rinse the duckweed out because I don't want to rinse the scuds out. I'm gonna maybe message that customer and warn him. Sir, there's something dark coming your way. It's pearlweed, yes, but it's also duckweed. They both end with weed. What are different fish I can show you? Well, showed y'all the black bar. Oh, well, talked about the half black yellows last time. Females are pretty. All right, pearlweed. I hope I got them some scuds. I really wanted to rinse this off, but if I rinse it, it said the scud part of the deal, which is what I think I've got pearlweed without scuds and pearlweed with scuds, so they chose it with scuds, which means they are a fish keeper of culture. And a fish keeper of culture usually also knows what to do with duckweed. Slam it over its head. Feed it to a duck. I really wanted to change the water for those blue parrots tonight. Doesn't look like I'm quite, ow, what in the world? Pinched my finger on the zip tie on my tripod. Just an old timer fish keeper, and he said it with such conviction. Tetra Aqua Start. It's the only starter bacteria that worked for me. And I think he typed it in that tone, I'm pretty sure. And I'm like, gosh, you say it with that much conviction, I've got to try it. And sure enough, it really was like an all-star player. It was a time where I was always blanking out my tanks. I'd buy new fish, I'd see them swim funny, and I would wipe out my entire bacteria colony. So I had down to a T that, a natural cycle took me about 21 days. If I zeroed out all of my bacteria, it was like 14 to 16 days that could come back, and then I would use that Aqua Start. And on the 8th or 9th day, after clearing everything out with antibacterial, I could pop it with that Aqua Start on, maybe it was day 10, and it wasn't much. You're only getting a 4 to 8 day head start on your cycle, but I saw it firsthand, and it was at a time where all the fish tubers were like, which one works? Which one works? Is it Fritz? Is it Fritz? Fritz gave me a sponsorship, so I think it's Fritz, and it definitely was not Fritz. I can show y'all the gallon jug I have of the Fritz bacteria that, was a placebo, I think. It was a placebo. After 6 months of owning my own store, I wanted to lock the door, make it membership only, name it No Fish for You. I often think about a brick and mortar fish store. It sounds terrifying. This is almost like going into your own living room to work. It's kind of like Uber. It's just always on your own terms. And that's a lot better than, I've never drove for Uber, so I guess I don't know. But it feels like it's a much better job than Uber Eats or something like that. I took off to take care of my kids full time, and that was the catalyst. I did not, and then I snuck the fish in on my wife later, but it was like, you know, we compared the salaries. She made more. I was like, yes! And I stayed home with the kids, which is actually a lot harder. It's a lot harder than sitting at that desk. At that desk, you'd be rocking with your coffee, news every morning. You could hear the inside of your skull. You could hear your own thoughts rattle around. When you stay at home and you take care of the kids full time, it's kind of like chaining yourself to the sink, a bathroom sink. And if you're really good at meditation and self-control, that could be very peaceful meditation. But if you are a nut, then you kind of feel like maybe you're a fox trapped in a bear trap. So you have to kind of figure that out. And that was a lot more difficult than just sitting at a desk. But the fish room is easier than all of it. But Ranchu Goldfish, I was talking about them. I don't even know where I got cut off though. Everyone's looking tired. I'm tired. Fish packages halfway done. I've got more fun tomorrow. But you know, at least I wasn't lonely. This is usually a very quiet time for me. I'm left with my thoughts. I'm left with my containers of Folgers coffee. Please sponsor me, Folgers. Do you have aquatic isopods? I want them. I want them bad. I keep, they haven't made their way over here on the right wave yet. I want to try Daphnia, and I want to try those aquatic isopods. They're so close to Scuds, it seems like a no-brainer. And they're kind of cool and pricey. They really creeped me out, but since my Scuds revival, I've accepted them. I'm interested in them. Underwater roly-polies. I call Scuds underwater roly-polies, but those aquatic isopods are definitely underwater roly-polies. I think we did 3 out of 5. Those half-black reds, I think I'm going to dump back into the tank until I find my pliers, and I'm going to just grab some new ones so everyone gets a warm night. This mission was full of fright. When I spy a sunken belly, start deworming with all of my might. This has been another episode of Brenton's Fish. Until next time, aquatic pods are really sensitive. Oh crap.
These fish like to eat.
We're going home. We made our fish stay up all night.
Please join us. Please join us. Please join us.
Join us.